hours, obviously, right now. I'm trying to get an idea of the 5-hour piece. Like, is it continuously hearing all this horrific stuff, or are you hearing something where you can actually piece up a story in your head of what's going on?
Cool. It was between Simon Griffiths and a lady. It's the lady who was pursuing the grooming of her children, and she was trying to find out information about another paedophile who apparently had 31 victims. I don't know anything about that. She was independent from me.
And if I'm intentively listening to it, I could piece up a story of, like, you know, who's there, like, what are they doing throughout these 5 hours, how many people are there, how many kids are there, like, is it a repetitive thing where every day they're repeating something, or every day it's a new thing? Like, is it a ritual going on? Is it, like, what kind of picture did you formulate after listening to, let's say, 5 hours?
Okay, we have approximately 200 maybe 5-hour recordings. The recordings, a lot of them, you have to remember where they were. They were in the basement, they're in a shaft in the wall, are very faint. Some of them are better than others, and you can literally listen to a 5-hour recording and get maybe 2 or 3 minutes of reasonably clear audio. But you'll also hear what appears to be hours of something that's in the background that you can't quite pull forward.
Yeah, what is this? Sorry for interrupting you, but what is this machine that you keep talking about, man?
Say again?
What is this machine noise that you keep mentioning? Like what does it sound like? A sledgehammer, like a toilet? I think you said, like what is that machine you kept talking? Like there was if I remember correctly, you said that like it was a repetitive like machine noise.
Okay, I'm just going to click onto a different section of the site, and I'm just going to get you the short extracts from it. There they are.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you really put together, you know, you did a good job with the website, man.
Well, thank you. This is a particularly good clip. Just before I play you the machine noises, this comes from the same area.
But what is this machine? Hold on a second, man. Is someone repeatedly saying David, David?
Yeah, it's somebody that says David many times. And as he gets closer into the foreground, he becomes a lot louder. It sounds like a door as it opens.
Wait. Hold on. Yo, David, that doesn't sound strange to you, bro? Like, what was your reaction when you first heard this, man?
I've just been. That is a little bit of a coincidence. David's quite a common name.
No. I know, but like that would have gave me goosebumps, man. Like,
yeah, well, of course, especially because you're wearing that. He says, "Oh my God, this is fucked up." So you can clearly see when he's talking, he's obviously seeing something that's bad, and he's probably not used to seeing. If he could have just been paid to come in and do a job, it was a new guy, and he's actually witnessing what's going on there for the first time and panicking at the same time
See,
of what he's now involved in.
See, this is what I was asking, man. Now you are piecing up a story. Like that's what I was trying to get out. Like this what I was trying to, you see, you're piecing up some sort of a story now. So what you're saying is you think it's a new guy, he just witnessed some shit, and he's what? Screaming David, David, like what
He's
is going?
probably panicking, yeah. Like what is going on here? You can hear that tone. And one thing again, just to make clear, that is a South Wales accent, which is specific for that area. The men have got that. The men that we're hearing have got a local accent where the children don't. So when the police go back and say it's just kids playing in the street, you'd expect him to be hearing children with a Welsh accent, which you don't pick up.
Can I say something that just blows my mind? Someone that was born in the Soviet Union, raised in Ukraine, grew up in New York, like lived in Italy. I always thought of the UK as like the most like polished, like nicest, like little island where the police doesn't carry weapons, and when the cop chases you down the street, like, "Hey, excuse me, sir, can you please stop, sir? Can you? I have this flashlight, sir." Whereas opposed to like in New York, like, the cop is beating your ass with a gun, like, so like what like how what I'm not trying to be funny. What I'm trying to ask is, like, is this a common thing that the world doesn't know about the UK?
Well, one thing I will say about Wales, this is just from an outsider looking in. Wales is a bit like, it's like the island mentality, if you get what I mean. Police on an island, they're kind of the law to their own, because everybody, they know each other, they know them people in
What?
the area. It's a smaller community, so things
I'm
do
sorry.
get
Listen, my
covered
brother,
up more.
I'm so sorry for interrupting you. Wales is like, to us, seems like UK times 5 supposed to be nice. Like, this is the home of Princess Diana, bro.
That's not the reality of it. It's like there's a really, I can't remember full name and full backstory from it. I just noticed there were people who were putting posters round, and the police had purposely botched a murder investigation and got a guy given, like, he ended up getting like 30 years in jail for a murder he did not commit, and the police knew who done it, but because it were friends of the police, they botched the investigation on purpose, and an innocent man went to jail, and the family of the innocent man were trying to spread awareness to say, well, look what's happened to us. And it comes back to that, in these rural parts of Wales, it's like the island mentality. The police are doing what they want with no comeback, and they're making the choices on who's convicted and who gets protected and who don't.
I want to ask you and Melissa, Melissa, if you can go first, please. Initially, when you found out about this, how far did you live from this place, and how easy was it to get to it?
No comment.
Okay, and David, you what about you, man? Like, do you live far from this place?
Yeah, I'm about a 5-6 hour drive away from it.
Oh, so it's not close.
No.
Okay.
Not to me personally, no.
Okay. Alan, if you're still here, can you please go on?
Yeah, okay. You asked me about what the noises that I was talking about are.
Yeah.
There's actually 5 different ones that we've isolated. Now, you can see on the screen, first one's a grinding noise, there's a flushing noise, and there's another noise. Now, I'll play it for you. It's only a minute long. I won't play the 5-hour one.
No, it's okay, man.
The noises are in real time, so there are gaps in the middle. This is just to demonstrate that they follow on from each other.
No. This is good. I'm trying to figure out what this is. It kind of sounds like a sledgehammer, man.
Yeah, sorry for that. There's a bit of blag at the end of it by the sound of it.
No, it's
Oh, yeah.
good. It's good because it's real. Okay, I'm not a handy guy, man. I got like 2 right arms growing out of my butt, man. Like, what does it sound like to you guys?
I don't know. I've never really been able to pinpoint exactly what that is. I've just always wondered the fact that the noises started after the building work, which happened next door to Alan's property. That's when it started. I've always wondered if it were that installation of that machine and the venting of that machine which were enabling Alan to pick up the noises.
But after that, those noises, there was a set of 3 beeps. They were always slightly different, but it was always a set of 3. Let me just quickly play you for them, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I just Alan, before you play this, you know what's most shocking to me is that these noises are not quiet. Like, this is loud.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
You think they're loud? These are louder.
It sounds like a fire alarm, man. You guys do have like fire alarm that's supposed to be in the houses like we have over here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Does it kind of sound like it?
Yeah.
No, I don't agree. Simply because they're always in sets of 3. They don't do multiple sets of 3, or they don't either do 2 or 1, and
Okay.
it's always together with different noises as well. It seems to me it's part of a process.
Part of what process?
Some machine running, processing something.
Listen, don't hold back on us. When you said what you just said, it seems like you pieced something up in your head. You got to tell us what you thought, man. What process?
Personally, what I think is they're manufacturing, let's say, either it's chemical or it's drugs. Because there's a running process. If you listen to 5 hours, it runs through a process, and then you hear that flushing noise. And that flushing noise to me is something being purified and over again.
Okay. I'm going to talk now from a street guy perspective, right?
Cool.
Someone that grew up in the streets. I'm a street guy. I was born into the streets. Like, from like a criminal point of view, right? I've never been a criminal, but I grew up around criminals. When a criminal chooses to do criminal activities, they have to choose a certain lane, meaning like they formulate in their head, like, okay, if I, let's say, sell cocaine, for an instance, I will get this much jail time. If I, do mess with guns, I will get this much jail time. So when you say like that, all of these different components could all be happening in one place, it doesn't really make sense a lot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, fully understand what you're saying. But there you go. If you're prepared to pay the ultimate penalty, perhaps you're prepared to do everything.
See,
And then
that's the thing, man. That's why, like in the neighborhood, the guy that chooses to sell weed, it's because usually he's not going to sell coke because coke is going to get him longer time. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, usually criminals, they choose one direction or one operation, if you will. Now again, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm just like,
well, what I would add to that is when it comes back to if you've got a very safe place where you can do the most horrific acts to children and get away with it, it's also going to be a safe place to also manufacture drugs to make extra money, because ultimately the Welshmen that were hearing in it, they're geezers who were doing it purely for the money. They're getting a high wage to run this facility, in my opinion, for then other people, potentially VIPs, to then go get their kicks off. So they're in it for the money. So if they've got a safe place that they can grow weed, that they can manufacture MDMA or crack cocaine, whatever, then it's a safe place. It's the perfect place to carry out the operation at the same time, because at the end of the day, they're just in it for money.
See, maybe that's some UK thing, but I will try to dispute that a little bit, because the way in the previous recordings, that horrendous sound of like a girl, what sounded like to me a child, a little girl, just like Melissa said, most likely younger than 10 years old. To me, what it sounded like is that she was running away and this adult was taunting her. So when you say that it's someone doing something as part of a business, to me, it sounds like these adults that are there, they're having some sort of like they're having a sick enjoyment into this. Like it's more than just money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I mean, there are two definite areas here. The women and children screaming was the noises we concentrated on. They come from underneath our basement towards the back wall of Sophia Nails. The machine noises come from the other side towards the semi-derelict
I
building.
see what you're saying. I
Two
see what you're
different
saying. You're
places.
saying there's different levels, man.
And
Yeah.
what I would add to that is, because I've come from the same background as you, I've met people and associate with people who were involved in crime, and for them, crime were a way of life. That's just how they made their money. They
I
might
got
do one type of crime for a couple of years. They move away from that. They move into something totally different. And especially when they're involved in drug trade and they're getting quite high up. In general, these men are extremely bad men. Do you know, they're psychopathic. Do you know, they thrive off of violence. For them to get into that position where they've got into that position by being the most violent, ruthless person going, and they have got no heart, they've got no conscience, and if someone's paying good, no matter what it
I
is,
mean,
they'll get
that's
involved.
to me, it's more than psychopathic. That's demonic, if you ask me, if there is such a thing. I wanted to ask Melissa, are there stories in the UK of organ trafficking, possibly? Like, have you guys come across and heard things like that?
I'm not sure about the UK, but I wanted to add to what everyone else was saying in terms of, criminals choosing maybe one area of criminality. I think things like drug trafficking, weapon trafficking, and child trafficking, they can overlap. It's not just a case of someone just traffics drugs. It's often, well, children are used in the process, or humans are used in the process. And like it was mentioned, it's horrific, and it takes a very evil type of person to get involved in something like this, and they will go through those lengths to get what they want, whether that's money or whether, I don't know what that is.
Oh man. Well, because you know why, David, I'm pretty sure you know why I said that, man, because again, you kind of you have a background like me, man, and you know that usually there are levels of street guys, like
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but I see what you're saying, because if this is some sort of a safe house with sort of different levels as far as like territories, and it's a big operation where all these different people, even in the higher ups that are involved, I could kind of see them multiplying their revenues, man, because like you
I
said.
think just for the way that the police track the investigation and how Alan's been tracked. Remember, he's had attempts on his life. His
Yeah.
son got horrifically jumped and beat up really, really badly. There's stuff there that it points towards a big operation that they don't want uncovering, because again, it comes back to they haven't got many places of that variety with probably the access routes that they've got to it and the infrastructure that they've got. Like, you can imagine if they've now got access to a disused military bunker, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't no like little room that they've got. You had a major military bunker which is meters away from Alan's old property. So there's not many, they haven't got that many places, so they're going to use that place to their full advantage, and it's something that they're going to want to protect.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Now we know Alan paid a heavy price for it, meaning like he was actually threatened, and the story with his wife and everything. David, did God forbid anything like that happen to you? Like, did anyone try to scare you
No,
after you got
no,
involved in the
never.
story?
No, I've
What about
never.
you, Melissa? Were you ever
Not really. I
threatened?
was not threatened as such. I was invited by someone to have a look down a drain, and I was told to come by myself, which I obviously
What?
never went to. So I don't know whether that was an attempt, and that was when I was heavily involved. So I don't know whether that was an attempt to end my life or silence me.
What?
I don't know, obviously, because I never went, but it was definitely a clear setup.
Like a Jesus Christ, like a warning, huh?
Can I
Yeah.
just say something?
Yeah, please, man, please.
Okay. What actually happened? Somebody was emailing me, and they saw it on the internet. They called themselves sick of it at yahoo.com. And basically, they were giving me abuse, telling me why I was wrong, why I was this, why I was that. And this is documented. There are pages and pages and pages of this. Then the same person wrote to Melissa and invited her to join them, a group of 3 people that they knew where they thought that a subterranean chamber was, but it would
What?
mean entering a drain, and they were going to do it under the cover of darkness. And Melissa was invited to go with them if she wanted to.
What the? Oh my God, Melissa, what kicked in your senses to be like, oh, this is a setup, man?
I suppose just human instinct, to know that something was very wrong there and that you wouldn't. Um, there was a time where I think when I was in the mode of, yeah, let's go get him kind of thing,
Hmm.
where I thought, yeah, I'll go and I'll just take someone with me. But it's stupidity, that is. It's not a wise thing to do.
I'm uh, I'm not gonna ask you any detailed question. I'm just going to say that I pray that that you take all the precautions. You see, like you're absolutely right, because like I'm pretty sure David can second this what I'm about to say is, like us Slavic dudes, we're like very hot blooded at the most wrong times. And because in my head I'm thinking, oh man, I'm running into this place and every but
Yeah.
as you guys piece this whole thing together, and it seems like there's a whole power structure and like a whole hierarchy that is behind an operation. Now I can see why David said, like, I tried to get a couple guys, and then I thought to myself, with how this will snowball into something much larger. It could even be a setup, man. um Alan, can you please keep sharing the website? And I'm actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna use the bathroom, but please share, go through the website, and I'm gonna make sure, while I'm gonna see it anyway while once I'm editing. But I'm just, if you guys excuse me, I have to run real quick because I've been drinking
Mhm.
coffee and stuff. And if you could keep going through the website, please.
Okay, let's do the scream that was recorded between the 2 gunshots, because I think that's a significant one. And one more time. Okay, the next one. Just tell me what you think the woman says. Any ideas?
I'd say help me.
It's funny because some people say
Something
don't shoot.
shoot.
Yeah, I thought don't
Something
shoot.
shoot. Yeah.
Anyway, the picture's on your screen. Goes back to a newspaper article, 25th of March 2021. One's Craig Gaius on the left, Sarah Pope on the right. Now, they were jailed for transporting 2 shotguns, live ammunition, and a magazine clip for AK-47. There's one of the shotguns. And the news article is actually there. And there's Craig Gaius. Actually, the newspaper article's there. Well, I posted the news article just simply to show you that it's a factual story. That's 2 shotguns. We've heard the 2 shotguns in the recordings, or 2 shotguns in the recordings, not necessarily the same one. What surprised me is he had a clip for the AK-47. It just seemed to fit. Right, let's go back a bit.
Well, you said an AK-47?
The AK-47. Do you want to hear it fire?
Yeah.
The next guy down, this guy's Elwyn Dowing. He tried to buy a Glock handgun. He lives in the UK as well. Now, the story's an interesting one because he said in court that he bought it for a person called David.
And that's the name we heard.
Now, here's another one. This is a report from to the police inspector. I said, "Dear Mark Davis," that's his name. "A friend of mine placed 3 microphones in brackets C note at the end in my house at 20 College Street. The microphones can record noises and sounds that human ear cannot always hear, sounds in the distance, etc. I was shocked when I played them back, and I could hear a shotgun being discharged repeatedly, followed by what sounds like semi-automatic fire. In one part of the recording, it sounds like a shotgun is discharged and a woman says bastard. My friend left the 3 microphones in the house until the batteries went flat. They were able to make 12 5-hour recordings on each microphone. I started putting the recordings on YouTube. The recordings can be found, and I give them a link. And I said the recording with a woman that's saying something like bastard, that can be found on the internet. I'm writing to you to ask the police to fully investigate these matters. Please get back to me if you need further information." He writes back, "Dear Mr. Tait, thank you for your email. I can confirm Dyfed Pass Police have not had any reports of semi-automatic gunfire or shotgun discharges in the Ammanfor area." Okay.
Prove to me that you are alive.
I reported those sounds to him, and the 2 ladies that recorded the sounds were also willing to speak to him. The police didn't contact any of them. Let's go a bit further down. I said to him, "Dear sir, I supplied you the recording of those gunshots. Do the police intend to take this matter any further?" He replies, "As I said, we've not had any reports of semi-automatic gunfire or shotgun discharges in the Ammanfor area recently. The listening device your friend has installed could well pick up noise from miles away, and in the case of semi-automatic weapons, they create substantial noise, and in the absence of any further reports, we will not be investigating the matter any further." Now, I also said that someone could be heard saying bastard. So is it likely that those noises were that far away? And what difference does it make if the noises were coming from miles away? They're still semi-automatic weapons. And in one recording, someone says, "Say to Gareth to stay out of range." So the interesting thing about that is it tends to suggest, if you're saying stay to Gareth to stay out of range, that he's very close to those gunshots. Anyway, I wrote to him, "Dear Mr. Mark Davis, I understand and agree with you. The sounds could be travelling through a tunnel or something similar. As I consider I've reported a crime, would the police kindly get back to me with a crime reference number?" And he replied this: "Dear Mr. Tait, there is no evidence of a crime, and Dyfed Pass will not reply in a crime reference number. I will be not reporting this, responding to any more of your emails. If you believe a crime has taken place, you need to report it to 101. And in case you don't know it, 101 is the non-emergency number in the UK."
Alan, before you go on, I really want to ask, and any of you can answer this if one of you knows the answer. With all of these hours of recordings, when the situation was active, was there ever a time where it sounded like nothing was happening for a long time? Meaning enough time where you could get an idea to be like, well, nothing is going on, let's say for a whole day, meaning there's no one there, and it will give me a chance to maybe, I don't know, go in there and explore while no one is there. Did it ever sound like there was an opportunity like this?
The only thing that I can say in answer to that is from the recordings, we didn't want to actually go in there, and I didn't want anybody else to go in there if there was anybody else there. And we worked out from the recordings that they were getting there just after 11:30 at night, and they were leaving just before 5 o'clock in the morning. So we tried to go in just before them and just after them. There could have been complete days where there was nobody there. I just don't know.
Okay. So you're thinking there was times when there was no one there, but then the next question that pops up into my head is, let's say the adults leave and they have hours of coming in and out. Does that mean that the kids are constantly there? Because it's not like you're walking in and out with these kids back and forth.
Yeah, but I think ultimately it comes back down to the fact we never worked out how to get in there. The only way we thought we could get in there is smashing through the floor.
David, sorry, I'm not asking that. We already clarified that. I'm glad you guys didn't go in there. I'm trying to understand, like, are there people there when it was active? Are there people there all the time, or at least one guard, let's say, that they're keeping? Because again, it doesn't seem like you would be walking in and out with these kids all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd personally say that the kids were staying there. The kids were left there
with no watch. Melissa, go ahead. You were gonna say it.
Yeah, I agree that the kids were left there, and potentially with no watch. If they were being threatened, or if they were visually seeing people be killed in front of them by guns, then I doubt that the children would try to leave themselves, or that there was someone that was kept there to
so
watch.
you think that they
do is lock them in there?
So yeah, but you think that they were? Melissa's basically saying that even if they were left there alone, they were scared so much that they wouldn't try to get out or get help or scream for help. Am I getting that right, Melissa?
Yeah, or that they couldn't, that there wasn't physically a way for them to get out.
So all they have to do is lock them in there, don't they? They have a load of metal doors they're in prison.
I know, but at least, like, they would try to send some sort of a signal, you understand, for help. And I'm not asking, the point of my question is, like, I'm trying to get an idea if there was someone constantly there watching over these kids, where they didn't even have an idea to, like, send out a signal, or like try to scream, or try to scratch, or try to
well, you have recordings like that where it's just kids just screaming over and over again, like they are locked in a room on their own and they're scared and they're screaming. You get them recordings.
There was one recording where we tapped on the actual one of the pipes, and we could hear somebody else tapping back. One of the sound engineers recorded this. He said they were tapping in a rhythmic manner, but not Morse code. And I tried to replicate that, and the noises, initially you could hear them, but after several hours you couldn't.
So this is, oh my God, man. So this is like potentially these kids are asking for help, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, bro.
Can I just say one more thing?
There's a man, all the things you want, please, man.
Cool, you'll be here for a week or two. There's a man that's been going out spreading lots of lies about the investigation, and trying to sort of, I think David quoted him as trying to muddy the waters. But I'm just going to play you what that man said about the gunshots.
I'm getting a headache. You have to excuse me. I just took a medicine for my head, because I'm just like, I'm very appreciative of all of you, and I'm so thankful, and I'm so appreciative that you chose to share this with me. But at the same time, I just want you guys to understand this is super heavy for me, because obviously it's been heavy for all of you, and you've been involved with this for a long time. For me, it's very fresh, and it's like, it's extremely hard, man. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I understand.
He posted a video which was recorded in Ammanfor by a taxi driver, even though he said he recorded it himself. This is Alan Tait and his wife. He said that him and his wife recorded this video, and they had gunshots going off. They recorded that on Bonfire Night. A taxi driver recorded it, sent it to Alan, and then Alan posted it on YouTube saying that he was the one who recorded it, etc., etc. It was all proved.
Who told you that?
That's the truth. It's well known. It's well known. It's well known. The police know that. Everybody who's investigated know that.
Alan, who's asking you these questions? Is this the same reporter that you talked about?
This is a person called Mr. Simon Griffiths. I've got to be careful what I say. What I'll say is Mr.
Okay,
Simon Griffiths is a liar.
Okay.
He's lied repeatedly over the last. Well, he's lied since the very beginning of this, and he's been lying for years and years. On the website are about 5 pages, maybe more. I've documented his lies. Some people have recorded him lying. He fudged paperwork to say that I was a paedophile. They released it to paedophile hunters.
Wait. I'm sorry. I really need you to clarify this, and you don't have to mention names or like be super specific. So you're basically trying to tell me that you seeked or thought out, or I can't even speak right now, man. You sought out legal help and someone tried to set you up?
No, I didn't set up. It wasn't legal help. This guy just turned up on the SoundCloud and YouTube. And if we were saying one thing, we think these are noises of children, he'd say it's children playing in the park. And this is going, all the time.
Yeah, it's like so he's a local guy who just suddenly started commenting on videos, just lying, and it was just obvious with his comments that he were purposely trying to muddy the waters to make people think it were no, and that Alan were making it all up. Because even on his comments, I was like, I can't understand why you're saying these things if you're not connected to it.
Hold on a second. Have you guys tried to investigate him?
Yeah, we've got pages on him. Can I play you a few of what he said?
Please, man. You're blowing my mind right now.
I phoned him up and asked him if he wanted to give his point of view.
Hello?
Simon? Yeah, I thought I'd just give you a quick ring, give you a chance to put your point of view.
But what?
What about all...
Noises inside your head?
Well, they're not in my head, mate, are they? 9 people have recorded them.
So he hung up. He was also recorded telling people that all the noises were in my imagination.
It's like the guy is absolutely off his head. It's all in his imagination.
Now, in the next clip, he first says the noises were recorded, but then changes his mind and says they were downloaded.
That person won't even post the so-called people that recorded his downloaded songs off the internet for himself and his wife's financial gain.
And then he changes his mind in this extract. He says the noises were fabricated.
I know nothing about somebody's fabricated horrific noises. There you go.
Anyway, I thought he was a bit rude on the phone the first time, so I phoned him back.
Hold on a second. So this guy is, first of all, what the heck is that on our screen, man? That's some scary shit. Second of all, excuse my français. Second of all, this guy is obviously invested and obviously connected.
The man that you see on the screen is a guy called Simon Griffiths, and that's him wearing a mask with a little Hitler moustache drawn in. Right, anyway, I thought he was a bit rude the first time I phoned him, so I phoned him back to give him another chance to give him his version of events. And this time a woman answered the phone. This is what she said.
I know where you are, who you are. Oh, yes, I got eyes all over you, so you better watch your back.
Yeah, okay, where am I then?
Oh, I need to know, not you two.
Oh, is that right, is it? When was the last time you were down the farming?
Oh, you don't need to know that. I just got eyes on you.
Oh, right. Would someone like to say anything about the horrific noises?
Oh, you don't need to know me.
No, I didn't say that. I said, would Simon like to say anything about the horrific noises?
Oh, literally. Oh, you don't know. No.
Would you like to say anything about the horrific noises?
Excuse me?
Would you like to say anything about the horrific noises that's been recorded?
Oh, yeah, coming from yours, yeah. Oof. I hear them all the time.
Do you?
All these gorgeous women coming in. Where's my invite, then? I would love to lick puss as well, yeah?
What have you got to say about the horrific noises of kids?
Where is my invite for these horrific, absolute noises?
Where have you got?
From yours on a daily basis, yeah?
What have you got to say about the horrific noises?
Literally, it's all you got to say.
No, this is what I'm asking you. The horrific noises of children crying and screaming. What have you got to say about them?
Oh, literally, yeah. You can keep saying that. From yours, yeah, I hear it all the time. What's your back, mister?
Could I speak to Simon, please?
Wait.
Oh, literally, you don't know who that person is. You just don't have a clue, yeah? No, you don't have a clue who you are absolutely bothering, but you're bothering with the wrong people.
Oh, am I? Can you tell me how?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how? Can you tell me?
It's only a matter of a ticking time bomb, yeah?
Can you tell me how?
What's your clock, mister?
How am I bothering with the wrong people? All I'm trying to do is find out about child abuse.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Hold on, Alan. Before please. I think that this is instrumental to the whole story. First of all, who the heck is this lady? And second of all, she's directly threatening you, and she's directly admitting that someone who is this Simon person is someone that you don't want to mess with, implying like this is someone, that could potentially be someone that people know and could be dangerous. That's what I'm hearing, man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I made out of it as well. As for your question, who she is, I don't know. I just know she picked up Simon's phone.
Melissa and David, you guys take turns. Am I bugging? Like, what did that sound like to you?
No, I agree with everything you said.
Melissa, what does that sound like to you?
It sounds like maybe she knows the type of person that Simon is and the things that he's doing, as if to say that you're bothering with the wrong person, as though you're barking up the wrong tree, as such.
And she threatens Alan, basically. She's trying to be like sarcastic, like basically brushing it off, but she's not denying it. So the reason why I'm being like I'm sticking to this so hard is this should be enough evidence to take to the police, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Simon Griffiths was recorded phoning paedophile hunters. One of them recorded it and sent the recording to me. So I'm just going to play that one for you. This is what was actually said.
Detail, but it's not difficult to find out the sort of man he is. You wouldn't want him near the child or the other people who he associates with. He's around some pretty horrific people who've been in, one or two of them have been in prison for doing things to children. It's disgusting.
Simon made the mistake of phoning up one of my supporters and telling his lies to her. Now that supporter is a paedophile hunter who records all her incoming calls. She does what she does because her children were groomed.
Yeah, I don't know. The only reason why all these names are coming about mine is because of Alan.
No, Alan haven't mentioned these names to me at all. These are people that have been connected to the grooming of my kids. As a mother, Simon, I got to get to the bottom of what have happened to my children. It's not just my children. There's also 31 victims from a paedophile from Penllagare.
She's actively trying to pursue the people who groomed her children. She was shocked by the lies Simon told her.
It's just that he's trying to deny that he never got involved in child abuse. And it's a known fact that he was. He's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. What he's been involved in the past is absolutely disgusting. It's horrific. Two of the people that he's involved with have both been convicted in the past. I managed to find this out in the last literally 4 weeks. One of them was put in prison for less than only a young boy. And the other one was trying to traffic children from Romania. He was encouraging people to send him money to build computer classes in schools in Lithuania and Romania, when in fact that's all he was doing, was using the money to go out and visit these bloody children.
I've only ever raised funds for school equipment to 2 schools, and both are in the village of Nikolevka in Bulgaria, where I used to live. I've never helped with schools in Romania or Lithuania. My passport would show I've never actually been to Lithuania.
Alan, I need like very detailed clarification for what I just heard, man. So what the heck is does that mean? And why do you and this other person say grooming? Why did I also hear 31 children? Why did I hear Romania and Bulgaria? Like, what the heck is going on in this phone call?
Okay, in the phone call, it was between Simon Griffiths and a lady. It's the lady who was pursuing the grooming of her children, and she was trying to find out information about another paedophile who apparently had 31 victims. I don't know anything about that. She was independent from me.
What does I don't understand what grooming means.
Dave, can you explain grooming?
Wait, hold on. Your mic is off, bro.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Grooming is where a paedophile will befriend a child, reel them in, and then, in general, ply them with drugs and alcohol to have their way with them. That's what a paedophile grooms a child into a position where they can take advantage of them.
Hold on a second. So, yo, my mind is like going all over the place. Someone please explain to me, how is this piece of story connected to what's going on, or what was going on in that building that each and every one of you recorded from?
Melissa, do you want to take that point?
So I suppose what's happening here is Simon is trying to sort of derail the story, and is accusing Alan of doing horrific things to children himself. So grooming is, good definition was given earlier. It's when someone who's usually an adult builds a relationship with a child or someone who is vulnerable, and uses them for things for their own personal gain. And often it is they're provided with things like cigarettes or drugs and alcohol, and that person is in a vulnerable position where they do as that person says. It's a common thing in the UK in terms of child exploitation. The grooming is the stage that gets the child close to the adult.
Why, if anyone can answer me, like, why is the number 31 mentioned, and is it at all relative, or is this person just throwing this number out? Like, they can't just, why would if they were just throwing out a number there, they would say 30 or 50. Like, it's a specific 31. Like, what am I missing here, man?
I don't know.
I think,
yeah, go on, Dave.
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously, the lady who you can hear speaking, she were carrying out her own separate investigation that wasn't connected to College Street, where we were picking up the noises. So she's done her own investigation because her own children were groomed by a paedophile, and she's relating that grooming to another paedophile who lives in a place which is very close to Ammanford, who she suspects had 31 other victims other than her two children.
But you see, this sounds like more than just a suspicion, because again, she wouldn't name specifically 31 children. And also, I don't think that like, I'm thinking that somehow there is a connection to the College Street
Potentially,
story.
yeah, potentially, yeah.
Keep going, Alan. This is getting more bizarre, man.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you and your wife having to listen to it, to be honest. Okay, yes, there could be a connection. It's not established, but that was why she was looking into the stuff that I published. Anyway, the same man has been recorded telling people that I threatened to set fire to an 80-year-old disabled woman in her summer house. Here's the recording.
But what Alan's deflecting, when he was living about 10 miles up the road from this area, going back about 15 years ago, he got into an argument with a neighbour over land, over a fence, right? He knew those people that lived there were at work during the day, so from 10 o'clock until about 4:30. But the mother-in-law, who used to spend all day in the summer house in the back garden because she had carers coming back and forth 3 or 4 times a day, he was watching the pattern, and he knew the times when the carers were coming and not coming to go look after her. And one day, after having an argument with his neighbour, he went round there during the day when he knew the carers wouldn't be there. And he went around and threatened this woman. He was going to set fire to her inside the summer house while the care.
Who?
In a long enough gap, Alan Tait did.
What?
He went around and threatened. And he's actually put, so again,
to a disabled woman, you just said?
To a disabled old lady, yeah. She was 82, 83, she's dead now. Alan didn't kill her, but, she died of natural causes. But it was actually in the local paper as well. He was charged, and, oh God, I think it was threatening abusive behaviour. They didn't do intent to kill because basically there's a video of him admitting to it. And he says in his video, I only meant it as a joke. It was only meant as an off-the-cuff remark. Even though he went round there with a petrol can and threatened the woman. That's the kind of person you're dealing with.
Wow.
I'm gonna say what this sounds like to me, and then Alan or someone can please clarify this for me. It sounds like the same guy, Simon Griffith, is talking to the previous lady that was talking about the 31 children. Now, am I going crazy, or he doesn't that's not a Welsh accent? It sounds more like a Scottish accent or something, like it's heavy, or like a Manchester accent. Is it Welsh?
He's South Welsh. Yeah, he's South Welsh.
Okay.
South Welsh, yeah.
So okay. You know what it sounded like to me? It sounded like he's admitting to something because he knows these weird specifications, but is trying to put it off on Alan.
Exactly. And the thing is with Simon Griffith is that he will never, the reason why he come up is because he come out of his way to try and derail the investigation.
I get it.
It's not as if we ever uncovered any evidence up that Simon Griffiths is involved and we're now going to target him. He just turned up out of blue and just started making up loads of lies about Alan.
Yeah, but listen, that doesn't sound like a lie to me. Like I said, he's saying some just like the number 31, he's talking about a specific situation that was lived, that was witnessed through his own eyes, and he's throwing this off on someone else, which in this case happened to be Alan.
Prove to me that you are alive.